I had never made a call to Diddy, really?
Diddy had connections everywhere. Politicians, billionaires, superstars, rap legends. Even 50 Cent once stood by his side before their paths split and they became enemies. But in the entire industry, there was one artist who kept his distance more than anyone else. One artist who wanted nothing to do with Diddy's world. Not in the 90s, not in the 2000s, not ever. And that artist was Eminem.
Got so many essays. Wait, he didn't just spell the word rapper and leave out a P.
The line from Fuel hits incredibly hard, but here's the important part. By the time Eminem dropped it, he'd already been throwing jabs and direct shots at Diddy for years. When Eminem was just starting his rap career, Diddy was already the most influential businessman in hip-hop. His label, Bad Boy Records, was the dream destination for almost any artist, but not for M. Marshall chose a different path, the one he'd always dreamed of, signing with Aftermath Records and working with Dr. Dre. And together, they began making history. But even when Eminem was still a nobody, he had already taken a shot at Puff. It happened in 1996 on the track Fucking Crazy. It was a subtle, early indication that Eminem wasn't afraid to take on industry giants. At the same time, M also had tension with another so-called industry giant, Suge Knight. He ran Death Row Records, home to legends like Tupac, Snoop Dogg, and Dr. Dre. People called him the boogeyman of the hip-hop industry. Suge didn't just intimidate, he dominated. Known for using fear, violence, and straight-up cruelty, Knight built his empire by any means necessary.
They was not scared of Suge Knight. They was terrified of Suge Knight.
But M didn't care about Suge's street reputation. That became obvious when Suge Knight suddenly showed up with a crew of Mexican gangsters on the set of 50 Cent's In the Club video.
Suge's outside! Suge's outside! Everybody like, he was running, dropping.
So Suge came, he had some Mexican niggas. Now we from New York. You ain't never seen a nigga with a tattoo on his forehead. 118th Street crew. I'm like, what the fuck?
But Eminem didn't flinch. Instead, he walked right outside to face Suge and his crew.
This is when I knew Eminem was real. He's like, I don't give a f, man. This is when I knew, I'm like, damn, Eminem is a real nigga. These niggas, 50 niggas outside, what's up? And then the nigga Suge just walked away. The Mexican niggas looked kind of confused, like they didn't know what was going on.
After that, M even recorded a diss track aimed at Suge, but it never came out because Dre asked him not to, saying it wasn't his beef. But that diss leaked not too long ago, and it was brutal.
Suge responsible for the deaths of the two greatest rappers to ever grace the face of this planet.
And if Eminem was willing to stand up to Suge Knight, then why would he be afraid of Diddy? Honestly, considering everything Puff has done throughout his career, it's not even clear anymore who is actually more dangerous, Suge or Diddy. But anyway, let's get back to the main topic. Eminem continued dissing Diddy in 2000 on the Marshall Mathers LP. If this line wasn't that harsh.
Because you love me, that y'all expect so much of me. You little groupie bitch, get off me, go puffy.
Then this one, where M mentions Diddy's then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez, describing what he would do to her if he had the chance, was much darker.
Sorry, Puff, but I don't give a fuck if this chick was my own mother. I'd still fuck with no rubber.
And then he says, I have a son and a new brother at the same time, and just say that it ain't mine. What's my name? Puff never responded to these lines, but I think it's obvious he didn't find them funny at all. Overall, despite the bold lyrics, there was no open conflict between Eminem and Diddy in the early 2000s. Each of them was busy with their own world. Eminem was dropping multi-platinum albums under Dr. Dre's wing, while Sean Combs was expanding the Bad Boy empire and changing stage names from Puff Daddy to P. Diddy. Their paths barely crossed aside from award shows and industry events where they appeared as superstars. Actually, Diddy once handed Eminem a Grammy in 2003 for Best Rap Album. To be honest, their interaction looked a bit tense.
And the winner is Eminem, the Eminem Show. Yes, sir. Eminem, the Eminem Show.
It's telling that Diddy himself has always acknowledged Eminem's talent. In a 2003 Rolling Stone interview, Combs spoke about him with respect, placing him among the greatest MCs. "I think Eminem's up there with the best of them," Diddy said in that interview. He added that, of course, Biggie and Tupac were, quote, a different caliber, but in his view, Eminem was incredible in his own right. In other words, Diddy publicly gave Marshall his due. Nevertheless, through mutual connections, their stories occasionally crossed paths. In the early 2000s, Diddy was interested in the new hot rapper 50 Cent, but chose not to sign him because of 50's street conflicts with Ja Rule. As a result, 50 Cent soon ended up under Eminem and Dre's wing, which led to tens of millions of records sold. So 50 became a shared point of interest. Diddy missed out on an artist that Eminem eventually turned into a superstar. Everything then goes quiet for a long time. However, in 2015, a documentary, Murder Rap, Inside the Biggie and Tupac Murders, is released, in which retired LAPD officer Greg Kading presents his investigation and says that it was Diddy who ordered Tupac's murder for $1 million, and that one of the shooters was Keefe D. 50 Cent immediately picked up this news, claiming that Diddy really was behind Pac's killing.
I told you you can't trust these niggas. Now Puffy done killed Tupac, man.
Eminem followed as well, though a bit later. In 2018, M released a diss on the Machine Gun Kelly Kill Shot, where he raps,
The day you put out a hits, the day Diddy admits that he put the hit out, they got Pac kill, ah?
but in the final line of the track, he says, "I'm just playing Diddy, you know I love you." The reaction came instantly. The internet exploded with discussions. Fans argued whether Eminem had gone too far. Many wondered, what if there was a grain of truth in his words? After all, he didn't just say it for nothing. As Joe Budden said on his podcast, Combs was extremely unhappy when he heard Kill Shot.
Puff said it's in his hands, and he said I can say it. And that's the end of that.
Have fun with that one.
He said, there's nothing to say about it. It's in my hands.
If in the past Diddy could ignore M's jabs and not react, this time he couldn't stay calm. For Diddy, Tupac is a painful topic. He tries in every way to deny any involvement and dodges questions whenever he can.
Now let's talk some hip-hop shit, man. I want to talk to Puff right now.
Yes.
Now it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah. Check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect. But I appreciate you as a journalist asking.
All right.
Thank you.
And I say
Later, when Eminem discussed the MGK beef in an interview, he hinted that he and Diddy have nothing in common, not even each other's numbers.
I had never made a call to Diddy, really? Yeah. I got Diddy's number, just hit him up. Yo, Diddy, what up? Never happened.
And it would seem that after 2018, Eminem and Diddy would stay far away from each other. But just a couple of years later, their names appeared together again. In 2020, Eminem released Music to Be Murdered By, and in the hit track Godzilla, he briefly mentions Diddy.
They call me Diddy cause I make bands and I call getting cheese a cakewalk.
But the piece didn't last long. June 2020 was marked by a small scandal. An unreleased Eminem verse leaked online, recorded the year before for the remix of Conway the Machine's Bang. In this original version of the verse, Marshall outright dissed Diddy's media company, Revolt TV, telling them off in a very direct way.
Shout the Puffy Combs, but fuck Revolt.
Less than a day later, Marshall apologized. He quickly posted a statement on Twitter explaining that the harsh verse was recorded in the heat of the moment, that he never intended to release it, and that he respects Revolt. But the most dramatic chapter of the story unfolded only recently. The fall of 2023 brought Diddy a series of serious troubles. Several women filed accusations of sexual assault and abuse against him. The biggest news was the lawsuit from Cassie, Diddy's longtime former girlfriend, who described in detail years of mistreatment, beatings, and forced sexual acts. And then, Keefe D was arrested for going on YouTube channels and openly talking about his friendship with Diddy and how Puff supposedly asked him to help kill Pac. a murder he claimed to have been involved in.
Suge just ducked his head, and the first bullet went in his head, then the next one's hit him. It was like he was doing a breakdance trying to jump in the back seat or something.
And on this wave, Eminem released the album The Death of Slim Shady, where he goes after Diddy harder than ever before. In Bad One, he raps about the so-called Diddy parties. And me offering you's nothing new, it's what I love to do. This is subterfuge, just to screw with you. And yeah, this much is true.
Sounds like something that Puff would do at a party with Aaron Hall, cause I just love to fuck with you.
In the track Antichrist, Marshall recalls the horrifying video where Diddy is seen beating his ex-girlfriend Cassie.
She probably ran out the room with his fucking dildo. He tried to field goal punish, she said to chill.
But the harshest lines about Diddy come from the track Fuel.
P-E-R, got so many essays. Wait, he didn't just spell the word rapper and leave out a P, did he?
So basically, R-A-P-P-E-R, spelled without a P, spells raper or rapist. And the essays, short for sexual assault. And after that, he continues, R.I.P., rest in peace, Biggie. And Pac, both of y'all should be living. But I ain't trying to beef with him, because he might put a hit on me like Keefy D get him. What's most interesting is that in the remix of Fuel, he continues the topic of Diddy's alleged involvement in the murders of Pac and Biggie. He says that the murder of Biggie Smalls was simply the domino effect of Tupac's murder.
Next bus till he's in police handcuffs. Guilty, will he step up like G never turned himself in?
I think after everything Eminem said about Diddy on this album, they're definitely not friends. Eminem will stand on 50 Cent's side, which means he's never going to associate with Diddy. And Diddy, too, is taking this seriously. After 50 Cent's documentary, he even sent 50 funeral flowers. So it's entirely possible he's holding a grudge against Eminem as well. All of this shows that Eminem has never been afraid of anyone, whether it was Suge Knight or Diddy. The next video I recommend watching is why Diddy is accused of ordering Tupac's murder. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and see you soon.